We used to move the machines so they wouldn't pay that day. Every day, hundreds of thousands of Americans visit their local casino hoping to hit the big jackpot. But what they don't know is that casinos hide their best-kept secrets about slot machines. Secrets we were strictly forbidden to reveal. I spent 12 years as a casino floor manager at major Las Vegas and Atlantic City properties. I oversaw hundreds of machines. I worked directly with slot manufacturers. I attended private executive meetings where we discussed strategies to maximize profits from players. I watched good people lose everything because they didn't know what I'm about to reveal. These aren't theories. These aren't conspiracy ideas. These are documented practices I personally implemented, and I'm breaking my silence because someone needs to tell the truth. You've always suspected that casinos manipulate you, that machines aren't truly random, that every detail is calculated to keep you playing and losing. You're absolutely right, but the manipulation runs deeper than you think. Before I expose these 7 forbidden secrets, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that like button. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications because they're going to try to shut this down. Third, comment below with your favorite slot machine so I know what games you're playing. These secrets were things we discussed behind closed doors. Things we were explicitly told never to share with players. Things that could get us fired, sued, or banned from the industry. But after watching thousands of people destroy their financial lives, I can't stay silent anymore. Let's start with the first secret they forbade us to tell. Secret number 1. Slot placement is psychological warfare, and nothing on the casino floor is random. Every single slot machine on a casino floor is placed with surgical precision. Every location is chosen based on data, psychology, and profit optimization. This was my primary responsibility as floor manager, and we spent hours in meetings analyzing placement strategies. You've probably heard the old myth that casinos put their loosest slots near entrances to attract players with the sounds of winning. That was true in the 1980s. It's not anymore. Modern casinos have completely reversed this strategy. The machines near entrances, exits, cashier cages, and bathrooms are now some of the tightest machines on the floor. The worst RTP, that's return to player percentage, in the entire casino. Why? Because people will play them anyway. You're waiting for your friend. You're killing time before dinner. You're cashing out and figure you'll play one more machine on the way out. We called these convenience locations, and we knew players at convenience locations weren't comparison shopping. You're not walking the floor looking for the best machine. You're just sitting down at whatever's available. So we put low payback machines there because we could get away with it. The loosest machines, the ones with the best payback percentages, are placed at what we call crossroads. These are intersections of heavy foot traffic, where wins can be seen and heard by the maximum number of people, near the center of the main slot floor, at the entrance to the high-limit room, along the pathway between the poker room and the sports book. When someone hits a jackpot at a crossroads machine, dozens or hundreds of people see it. They hear the music, they see the lights, they see someone winning, and that drives them to play. I've been in meetings where we analyzed heat maps showing player density and strategically moved our highest payback machines to maximize exposure. One casino I worked at moved a machine that paid out a $30,000 jackpot to a more visible location specifically so the next jackpot would be seen by more people. Not to reward players, to create the illusion that big wins are common. And here's something most players don't know. Airport slots and gas station slots have the worst payback percentages of any machines anywhere. We're talking 75% to 85% payback compared to 90% to 95% on a typical casino floor. Why? Because you're a captive audience. You're killing time before a flight. You're not going to drive to another gas station to find better slots. So they set the payback as low as legally allowed. Let me tell you about a conversation I had with a slot director at a major strip property. He told me, "We don't care if the airport machines look predatory. Those passengers are never coming to our casino floor anyway. We extract maximum value because there's zero long-term relationship. If you're going to play slots, avoid convenience locations. Look for machines at major intersections where the casino wants to advertise wins, and never ever play airport or gas station slots. You're throwing your money away." Secret number 2, near misses are programmed to keep you playing, and we were forbidden from explaining how they work. Have you ever been playing a slot machine and seen 2 jackpot symbols line up perfectly, with a third one just barely missing above or below the pay line? That jackpot symbol sitting right there, just one position off from making you rich? That's not bad luck. That's programming. Near misses are deliberately built into slot machine algorithms. Manufacturers design the reel mapping, that's the distribution of symbols on each reel, to create near misses at a frequency that keeps players engaged. Here's how it works. Modern slot machines don't use physical reels to determine outcomes. They use a random number generator, an RNG, that selects a result. Then the reels spin to display that result. The reels are just for show. They're theater. But the way symbols are mapped onto those reels is anything but random. Manufacturers place jackpot symbols directly above and below payline positions more frequently than probability would suggest. This creates the visual illusion that you're constantly almost winning. Studies by gaming regulators have found that near misses occur significantly more often than true randomness would produce. And there's a reason for this. Your brain interprets near misses as evidence that you're getting closer to winning. You think, "I almost hit it. One more spin and I'll get it." But here's the truth we were told never to explain. Every spin is completely independent. A near miss on one spin has zero impact on the next spin. The machine isn't getting warmer. You're not due for a win. That jackpot symbol that just missed could miss 1,000 more times in a row. The Nevada Gaming Commission actually investigated near-miss programming in the 1980s and found it was so manipulative they considered banning it. But the casino lobby was too powerful. Instead, they just required that near misses couldn't be more frequent than the actual math of the game would allow. That sounds protective, but it's not. Because manufacturers simply design the reel mapping to make near misses mathematically common. It's legal, it's widespread, and it's costing you money by keeping you in your seat longer than you should stay. When you see a near miss, recognize it for what it is. Manipulation, not evidence that you're close to winning. Secret number 3. Losses disguised as wins keep you confused. And this is one of the most insidious practices in modern slot design. You bet 50 cents on a spin. The reels stop, lights flash, music plays, coins sound like they're pouring out. The screen celebrates. You feel like you won something. You look at your credit meter. You won 25 cents. Wait, you bet 50 cents. And won 25 cents. You just lost 25 cents. But the machine celebrated like you hit a jackpot. This is called a loss disguised as win, or LDW in industry terminology, and it's everywhere. Studies have found that modern multi-line slot machines produce LDWs on 30% to 40% of all spins. Almost half the time, you're losing money while the machine tricks you into feeling like you won. Why do casinos do this? Because it works. Your brain releases dopamine when you experience a win. That's the chemical that makes gambling feel good. But your brain responds to the signals, the lights and sounds, not to the actual math. So when the machine celebrates, your brain gets that dopamine hit even though you lost money. This keeps you playing longer. It keeps you confused about whether you're actually winning or losing. And it makes you feel like you're having more success than you really are. I have watched players sit at machines for hours, racking up dozens of these fake wins, and leave thinking they had a good session because they won so many times. They didn't check that their starting bankroll of $300 was now $80. In executive meetings, we reviewed data showing that LDWs increased average session time by 35% to 40%. That's 35 to 40% more money extracted from each player. This wasn't accidental. This was engineered. One slot manufacturer representative told me during a private demonstration, "We've perfected the art of making losses feel like wins." Players stay engaged because their emotional experience doesn't match the mathematical reality. The solution is simple, but requires discipline. Ignore the machine celebration. Only track your actual credit meter. And even better, set a timer and check your balance every 15 minutes. If you're down, you're losing. No matter how many times the machine played its happy music. Losses disguised as wins are psychological warfare. Don't let them confuse you. Secret number 4. Casino comps are designed to keep you losing, and the timing is algorithmically calculated. Let me tell you how players' club cards really work, because this is something we were explicitly told to never fully explain to players. When you insert your card into a slot machine, the casino system begins tracking everything. How much you're betting per spin, how fast you're playing, how long you stay at each machine, your win-loss ratio, your total coin-in, and most importantly, it calculates something called your theoretical loss, or THEO. Your THEO is a mathematical prediction of how much money the casino expects you to lose based on your play pattern and the machine's payback percentage. If you're betting $2 a spin on a machine with 90% payback, playing 600 spins per hour, the casino knows you're theoretically losing $120 per hour. Comps are based on your THEO, not your generosity, not your loyalty, your expected losses. But here's where it gets manipulative, and this is what they forbade us from revealing. The casino system doesn't just track your THEO. It tracks your behavior patterns. It knows when you're about to leave. And at times comp offers to keep you playing. You've been playing for an hour. You're down $100. You're thinking about cashing out and going to dinner. Suddenly, a slot attendant appears with a voucher for a free buffet. Or your card reader displays a message offering $50 in free play. This isn't coincidence. This is algorithmic manipulation. The system detected that your play rate was slowing. You stopped betting max lines. You're playing slower. These are behavioral indicators that you're about to quit. So it triggered a comp offer to keep you in your seat. And here's the really devious part. That free buffet or free play isn't free. The casino has calculated that by giving you a $25 comp, you'll keep playing and lose another $200. I've been in executive meetings where we reviewed comp effectiveness metrics. We knew exactly how much additional play each comp type generated. Free play was the most effective because it forced you to stay at the machine and keep playing. Room upgrades were second because they kept you on property longer. The timing of comp offers reveals machine behavior too. If you're getting comp offers while playing a specific machine, that machine is likely in an accumulation phase. The casino wants to keep you there because their data shows you're losing at an acceptable rate. Let me tell you about a player I'll call Richard. Richard was a regular who played dollar slots. One Saturday night, Richard was down about $400 and starting to show signs of quitting. Our system triggered a comp offer, complimentary dinner for two at our steakhouse, a $100 value. Richard accepted. He and his wife had dinner, relaxed, and Richard felt appreciated by the casino. After dinner, Richard came back to the floor and played for another 2 hours. In those 2 hours, Richard lost an additional $700. The casino spent $100 in food cost and extracted $700 in additional losses. That's a 600% return on investment. And Richard left feeling like the casino had treated him well. Use your player's card for the comps if you want, but recognize that every offer is calculated to extract more money from you. When you get a comp, that's your signal to cash out and take a break, not to keep playing. Secret number 5. Payback percentages are deceiving, and casinos use carefully worded advertising to mislead you. Casinos love to advertise their payback percentages. You'll see signs that say, up to 98% payback, or certified 95% return. Let me translate what this really means, because we were trained to deflect when players asked for specifics. First, up to 98% means that one machine somewhere in the casino pays back 98%. One machine out of thousands. The rest could be 85%. That advertising is technically true, but completely misleading. Second, payback percentages are calculated over millions of spins. Not your session, not your day, not even your year. Over the entire lifespan of the machine, running 24 hours a day for years. A machine with 92% payback will, over millions of spins, return $92 for every $100 inserted. But in any individual session, variance dominates. You could lose your entire bankroll in an hour on that same 92% machine. The house edge, that 8% in this example, grinds you down over time. The longer you play, the more certain it is that your results will approach that theoretical payback percentage. And that percentage is always below 100%, which means you always lose eventually. Third, denomination matters enormously, and this is something we were told not to volunteer to players. Penny slots typically have payback percentages between 85% and 88%. Quarter slots might be 90% to 92%. Dollar slots might be 93% to 95%. $5 slots and higher often exceed 96%. Why? Because the house makes more money per spin on higher denominations. A $5 machine with a 4% house edge generates 20 cents of profit per spin. A penny machine needs a 15% house edge to generate the same revenue per square foot of casino space. Casinos put their worst payback percentages on penny slots because that's what most players choose. And most players choose penny slots because they think it's cheaper. But you end up playing more spins and losing more money overall. Fourth, and this is the most important part, you never actually know what you're playing. Payback percentages are on confidential documents called par sheets. Manufacturers and casinos keep these locked up. Gaming regulators see them, but players don't. That machine you're playing could be 95%, or it could be 86%. You have no way to know. You're gambling blind. I once asked a slot director why we couldn't just display the payback percentage on each machine, like they do in some European casinos. He laughed and said, because if players knew they were playing an 85% machine next to a 94% machine, they'd all move to the 94% machine. We profit from information asymmetry. The only way to estimate a machine's payback is through statistical analysis over thousands of spins, and even then, variance makes it difficult to pinpoint the exact percentage. My advice, if you're going to play slots, play the highest denomination you can afford. The payback percentages are genuinely better. 100 spins on a dollar machine will lose you less money on average than 1,000 spins on a dime machine. But never forget that even a 98% payback means you're losing 2% of everything you wager. Over time, the house always wins. Secret number 6. Your phone and face are being tracked, and this surveillance extends far beyond the casino floor. This secret is the most disturbing because it extends into your personal life, and it's something we were absolutely forbidden from discussing publicly. Modern casinos use sophisticated technology to track your behavior in ways most players never imagine. And it starts the moment you download their app or connect to their Wi-Fi. Casino apps request permission to access your location even when not in use. This allows them to know when you're near the property, when you drive past, when you're at competing casinos. They use Bluetooth beacon technology throughout the casino. These small devices detect your phone and track your movement across the property. They know which slot machines you walk past, which ones you stop at, how long you play, where you eat, where you park. Facial recognition is becoming standard at major casinos. Cameras identify you the moment you walk in. They link your face to your player's club account. They track your movement without requiring you to insert your card. All of this data is aggregated into behavioral profiles. The casino knows when you typically visit, what days of the week you prefer, what times you arrive and leave, how much you usually spend, what games you play, and they use this data for targeted marketing. You'll receive push notifications on your phone precisely when their algorithm predicts you're most likely to visit. Offers arrive on Friday afternoons because the data shows you visit Friday evenings. Free play offers arrive after you've gone 2 weeks without visiting because the data shows that's your typical break period. The most disturbing part is data sharing between casino properties. Major casino corporations own multiple properties across the country. Your play at one property is tracked at all their properties. Some companies even share data with partner casinos. This creates a comprehensive gambling profile that follows you everywhere. And it's all legal because you agreed to it when you signed up for the Players Club and accepted the terms on their app. In one meeting, a marketing director showed us a presentation titled Predictive Player Intervention. The system could predict with 73% accuracy when a player was about to stop visiting the casino based on behavioral changes. It would automatically trigger personalized offers to prevent churn. One player's profile showed he always visited on the 15th of the month, right after his paycheck. The system automatically sent him offers on the 14th. He thought the casino was being generous. They were just exploiting his financial predictability. How do you protect yourself? Don't download casino apps unless absolutely necessary. Never connect to casino Wi-Fi. Use your cellular data. Turn off Bluetooth when visiting casinos. Opt out of marketing communications. But here's the reality. If you use a player's club card, they're tracking you. The only way to avoid comprehensive tracking is to play anonymously without a card. But then you don't get comps. Just know what you're giving up: your privacy, your behavioral data, and ammunition for them to manipulate you into gambling more. Now, let me tell you what actually works if you're going to play slots anyway. This is secret number 7, the one they really didn't want me to share. The practical strategies that actually minimize losses. First, play higher denominations. I mentioned this earlier, but it bears repeating. The payback percentages are genuinely better on dollar machines than penny machines. You'll lose less per hour on average. Second, play maximum lines but minimum bet per line. This gives you better hit frequency without overextending your bankroll. A 50-line slot at 1 cent per line costs you 50 cents per spin, but gives you 50 chances to win. Third, set win and loss limits before you start and stick to them religiously. Decide you'll walk away if you lose $100 or if you win $100. When you hit either limit, cash out immediately. This is where most players fail. They set limits but don't enforce them. Let me tell you about a player named Jennifer. Jennifer was a smart professional, a lawyer who understood mathematics. She came to the casino with $500 and set a strict limit. She'd leave if she lost $200 or won $200. Jennifer started playing Buffalo Gold. Within 40 minutes, she was up $220. She had exceeded her win limit. But instead of cashing out, she thought, "I'm running hot. Let me play a little more." 2 hours later, Jennifer had lost her entire $500 plus another $300 she withdrew from the ATM, all because she didn't honor her own limit. I watched this happen on surveillance, and I saw it happen thousands of times. The limit isn't the problem. The lack of discipline to enforce it is the problem. Fourth, cash out regularly. Don't play with winnings. If you turn $100 into $200, cash out $100 and play with the other $100 if you want to keep playing. Lock in profits. Fifth, avoid progressive slots unless the jackpot is abnormally high. Progressive machines take a percentage of each bet to fund the jackpot. This comes directly from the base payback percentage. You're playing a worse game for a chance at a jackpot you'll almost certainly never win. Sixth, use time limits more than money limits. Set a timer for 20 minutes per machine. When it goes off, move or leave. This prevents the hypnotic effect of repetitive play. Seventh, and most important, treat slots as entertainment expense, not as income opportunity. You're paying for the experience. You're not investing. You're not working. You're spending money on entertainment. If you go to a movie, you pay $15 and get 2 hours of entertainment. If you go to a casino with $200 and play for 3 hours, that's your entertainment budget. Expect to lose it all. If you walk away with anything, that's a bonus. Let me close with this, because it's important you understand why I'm speaking out. I left the casino industry because I couldn't reconcile what I knew with what I watched happen every single day. I saw people destroy their lives. I watched families fall apart. I witnessed the human cost of these machines. When I started speaking publicly about these practices, casinos banned me from some properties. I received legal threats. I was told I was violating non-disclosure agreements. I don't care. Someone needs to tell the truth. Slot machines are not games of chance. They're games of mathematics, where the math is always against you. They're programmed with psychological manipulation techniques refined over decades. They're placed, timed, and designed to extract maximum money from every player. You cannot beat them long-term. The house edge is real. The random number generator is truly random. But the game is designed so that randomness favors the casino. Let's recap the 7 secrets they strictly forbade us to tell. 1. Slot placement is psychological warfare. Avoid convenience locations. Seek out crossroads machines. Never play airport or gas station slots. 2. Near misses are programmed manipulation. They don't mean you're close to winning. Every spin is independent. 3. Losses disguised as wins keep you confused. Ignore the celebration. Track your actual balance. 4. Casino comps are timed to keep you losing. When you get a comp, that's your signal to leave, not to keep playing. 5. Payback percentages are deceiving. Play higher denominations for better RTP. But remember, the house always has an edge. 6. Your phone and face are being tracked. The casino knows more about your behavior than you think. Protect your privacy. 7. The strategies that actually work require strict discipline. Set limits and enforce them. Treat gambling as entertainment expense. Cash out regularly. Use time limits. If you choose to play, do it with full knowledge of what you're up against. Use the information I've shared to play smarter. Recognize the manipulation. Protect your bankroll. Set limits and stick to them. And if you or someone you know is struggling with gambling addiction, please reach out to the National Council on Problem Gambling at 1-800-522-4700. Help is available 24 hours a day. Now, I need you to do 3 things before you leave this video. First, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I'm going to continue exposing industry secrets they don't want you to know. They're going to try to shut this down, so make sure you're subscribed to get every video. Second, share this video. Send it to anyone you know who plays slots. Post it on social media. The more people who understand these secrets, the less effective the manipulation becomes. Third, watch this video right here, where I reveal the 5 slot machines that casinos regret putting on the floor because they have design flaws that favor players. You definitely want to see that. The secrets are out. What you do with them is up to you. But at least now you know the truth. The house always wins, but you don't have to make it easy for them. Knowledge is your only edge in a casino. Use it wisely.